enjoyable moment today. And this afternoon, we have a very important speaker, keynote speaker, who is from Yunlin, who is also doing the mansions, apartments, theme park, all kinds of design project and construction as well. Let's welcome Mr. Yunlin. Let's applaud. Mr. Ta, who is the entrepreneur, and he has his own architectural practice, and we would like to have this in this moment to connect with creative design and also connecting with our student who has opportunity during this summer to work with him. So let's applaud again.
Thank you. Okay, Ni hao. Alright, actually it is one of two Mandarin words that I can speak. Okay. Ni hao is the first one, and the second one is she said. Alright, thank you. Okay, I am honored to be invited by the National Yunlin University of Science and Technology to come here today to participate in this international conference about creative design. And my name is Yunlin. I am a practicing architect, and I'm from Vietnam. I'm the founder and CEO of Roomless Design Build, as you can see on the screen. Over here, it's our room. Okay, alright. So, okay, as most of you may know that a union concept is considered as a key factor that drives the design from the beginning to the end, from the general look to the smallest details. But from our experience and understanding that many design students as well as young architects and designers have been struggling in seeking ideas and developing convincing design concept for their projects that need to be related to the context as well as the design brief. So my presentation is about concept between process. Okay, and then I would like to share with you some of the best tips and the views, opinions about our experimental methods of concept design, which has been implemented by Roomless Design Build in many years of practice. And I also would like to explain with you some case studies which are the architectural design and interior design projects, range from different scales, locations, and functions as well as interesting case studies in creative design. How to transform imagination, inspiration into concept within a reliable working process. Okay, so let's start my presentation. Okay. So the first question is that is there any easy way or shortcut to find a design concept? Alright, some people they just rely on fate or luck. Okay, but ideas rarely come from surprise or dream. The second approach is imitating. Some people they just imitate an original design to make another, but worse version. The third approach is risk conserving. Okay, many people, many designers and architects as well, they just apply personal experience and theories in almost every design project. But the thing is that this ends up with a concept or the design project that is not related to the context and is not unique anymore. So my answer is that there is no easy way to find the concept. You need to work very hard to transform your inspiration and imagination into creative ideas and concepts in every project, case by case. Alright, so we have the process here from inspiration to idea and to concept. We need to think about that. Okay, for example, this one is the Claymotor House in Melbourne, Australia, designed by Mark Bryan Architects. And you can see that is an inspiration. He got the inspiration from the Claymotor. and then it develops into the ideas and then the final concept of the house here. Inspiration. What is inspiration anyway? Inspiration is something that makes someone want to do or to feel something, especially something creative. For example, you may be familiar with this one. Okay, it's Monet. Okay, and Monet once said the richness I achieved from the nature shows of my inspiration. And it's true because you can see that most of these paintings, got inspiration from the nature. Alright? And then what is an idea? The idea is an initial thought which just appears and may be viable. But idea is not concept yet. We need to choose the idea, we need to select the ideas and develop further in order to transform it into the concept. For example, if you have a mattress, you combine that with the very American breakfast, this becomes air bed and breakfast, and now it has become Airbnb. But actually, at the beginning, it was just an idea to combine the mattress with the American breakfast. That two American students, they want to make some more income, so they rent out their living room in their rental apartment with a mattress, and combine with some, American breakfast for the renter at the beginning. Alright, and then we run through inspiration and ideas, but what about the concept? Okay, what is concept? Concept is a creative and abstract design solutions of prototype, which is creative by comprehensive working process. We need a process in order to get into the concept. And concept is not inspiration, it's not idea anymore. For example, we have the Tesla Cybertruck. It was a concept car, concept vehicle in November 2019, before the epidemic. And then now it has become the production, but it was a concept car. It's a prototype, and I had the chance to visit all the facilities of the College of Design here, and I'm very impressed with all the factory of the facilities that we have to produce the concept here in this university. Okay, so how to break the concept? The biggest question is how to break the concept. Okay, we need concept design. Concept design is a process of investigating all related matters or factors, seeking inspiration, exploring ideas, brainstorming in order to establish a design concept for the whole project. So it's not inspiration, it's not idea anymore, it needs to be a concept. Okay, so in our experience and our methods of concept design, we have 5 steps for concept design process in our studio. First of all, we do research. So we do research on the design brief, site visit, analysis, regulation, building costs, etc., as you may know. The second step is SWOT analysis, including strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, and risks. The third one is design direction. We determine the design objectives and directions for the whole project. And then from the research, the SWOT and directions, we get into ideas. Okay, we find inspiration, brainstorm for ideas, sketches, etc. And finally, from directions and ideas, we get into the final concept of the project. With diagram, drawings, models, etc. I think that you are familiar with that one. But that is the process that we have here in regular design view. Research, SWOT, directions, ideas, and concept. Okay, and then we run through to the 4 priorities of our concept design, of our every design concept. It has to have a level of creativity. So it delivers unique value to the project stakeholders as well as the public as well. Secondly, it needs to be a problem-solving solutions. It solves the problem or challenge of the design brief or the context or whatever. And then simplicity, it needs to be very simple. This can be described in just a very simple diagram or short phrase or image or whatever. And then finally, it needs to be, have a level of thoroughness. This can be applied throughout the project from the beginning to the end, from the general look to overall look to the smallest details of the project. So creativity, problem solving, simplicity, and thoroughness are four properties of our design concept for every project, for almost every project. Alright, and then I would like to introduce to you our concept design team. Okay. He is our project leader. Sometimes it's me. Alright. This project runs from the beginning to the end. Because we do design build, so the project leader needs to lead the project from the concept design to the to construction documentation as well as the site as well. And then we have project architects who manage the design team during the project. We have design staff, architects, designers, or interns. So the students here, you want to intern to be an intern in our office, you are here. Okay. Alright, so I went through the concept design phase and process of our studio, and now I quickly move to the case study 1. Okay, again, we do the research. That is a very, very tiny site, just 18 square meter, located in the middle of the neighborhood here, in the alley, and in the middle of the city center of Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. So the design brief asked for a 2-bedroom homes for the young couple, and I will take little Photoshop, on the ground level. And other requirements are security, privacy, and 1 bedroom may be, rented out as an Airbnb business later on. So, okay, the regulation is that if we build a new building, we need to have 2 meter setback from the side corner here. Because it's located, the site is located at the corner. So if you build a new building here, it needs to be maximum 3 levels, and it has a setback angular, the triangle setback from 2 meter, from the building corner. So that is the research. We did the size investigation. This is the existing building here. This ground level, mezzanine levels, and the second level on the top. This the house is very old, very dark inside. It has brick wall and column as the main load-bearing system structure. It has been badly damaged and abandoned for months before we get into the design of the new house. So we do the SWOT. Okay, the building, the project has some strengths and some opportunities here. The first strength is that 2 main frontages. So the opportunity here we have advantage of convenient traffic and the view. Traffic to the side and the view from inside to outside. It has a southeast and northeast orientation, so it has a chance to have good natural ventilation and daylighting. And another strength is that rectangle shape size, so we have a chance to optimize interior layout and dimensions. So it's quite easy in terms of dimension and layout. But the thing is that the project has very important weaknesses here. First of all, it has a tiny area of just 18 square meters, as I mentioned before. So the phase here is we may not have enough space for the required use. Because we have 2-bedroom homes and a shop as well. And they have a 2 meter setback at the corner is required if we build a new building. Okay, you see that the existing building doesn't have any setback, but if we knock it down and build a new one, it needs to have 2 meter setback from the corner. So the thing is that the new building would be even tinier than the old one. It would have ended up with just 16 square meters. So another weakness is the badly damaged and unstable structure. So it led to construction and long-term risk in the future. So we ran through all of the main SWOT here, and then we brainstorm for ideas and directions. So first design direction is renovation. We don't want to build a new building anymore. Because if we want to build we build a new building, it will be very tiny. So renovation is preferable. Because we want to optimize, we want to utilize the most as we can, the most material as we can. The second direction is microspace. Okay, we try to seek for a creative solution which is specific to the site and respond to the new trend of tiny house in these cities. I'm pretty sure that I have seen that in magazines have some tiny houses and apartments in Taiwan as well, I think. Yeah, and in these cities around the world, not even in Vietnam, but also maybe in Japan, we have, the trend of, tiny house, because, the cost is so expensive, the land cost, so the tiny house in existing city is a new trend. Okay, and we want to use single material because the size is so tiny and the building is maximum in 3 levels. It's very, very small, so we don't want to make an over complicated building. We want to make a single material and a very small but a landmark within a neighborhood. Alright, so after we established the 3 design directions, we move to the ideas. We was thinking about ideas, how to apply, how to, forward toward the 3 design directions that's specific to the site and the design requirements. So we have some ideas. Okay, we sketch out, the floor plans. The floor plans, how we configure all the parking space, the bedrooms, bathrooms, the staircase, how to utilize the space, how to save the space, how to sort of square better. And then we want to combine it with a single material, maybe glass block. Glass block may engage more lighting and able to ensure security and privacy in some ways. So we want to combine, those 2 elements into something. So we continue brainstorming ideas. We do, we did some rendering images showing the visual effects of the light getting into the interior space, and we even investigating the installation methods and construction details of the glass block facades here with integrated windows. And then after that we established a concept. We call it glass block house. That is the final floor plans. We propose a solution, the design concept, by carefully replace the old main facades here, 2 main facades, with glass blocks, and integrate windows together with the minimal steel structure. And you see that the service car here, which is the bathroom and the staircase over here, are located in, at the west to prevent the solar heat again getting into the interior space. And the main space here is the shop here on the ground level, and the bedrooms on the top levels, as well as the balconies located on the desired orientation. That is the elevations, sections, That is very informative diagram showing the old house. And then we just remove some of the unused or unusable parts, such as the brick facades, the staircase, and interior material, and the roof as well. We just remove to just keep the main structure, and we put some additional structure here, which is the steel columns and beams, and we put together the glass block facades and the new roof here. And this has, finally we have the balcony, we have some landscaping, we have some plantings here for the new buildings, and these renovated buildings here. You can see on the top corner. Right. From here you can see that in the top corner we have an L-shaped balcony here with the pergola. The pergola is acting as the outer skin of the facade, which gives the space for plantings, enhance the privacy, and minimize the heat burn into the interior space as well. Inside, we have the little ventilation shop on the ground levels here, and then on the second level we have the bedroom suite with the bathroom and the wardrobe, just hidden behind the glazing wall here. On the top levels, you see the master bathroom and bedroom and bathroom suite with the L-shaped balcony. And if you look at carefully, you can see that the square shaped windows and doors here is located in different angles, and to prevent the direct sight from the neighbor's house getting into the interior space of the house, of the bedrooms here. And then the sunlight is filtered by the plantings and the glass block facades before lightening the interior space. It's not a direct sunlight, it's the reflected or translucent sunlight getting into the space, making a very very impressive visual effect and emotional effect as well. Okay, that is the old house. That is the renovated one at daytime and at night time. So at daytime, you can see that the last top facade engaged light without losing the privacy. You can see through it and blend really surrounding during the day. With the sky, with the neighborhood houses and the landscaping. It's just blending with the context. And then at dawn or at night time, when lights on, the house becomes a lantern in the middle of the neighborhood. It becomes some kind of landmark, very small landmark at the corner of the island. So that we call it large block house. Very small one, 18 square meter site and about 60 square meter in total net floor area. Right, and then case study 2. Okay, I hope that this one may be bigger a little bit. Alright, again we have the site plan here. It's showing the site. It's a 2 adjacent land lots of the area of more than 140 square meter, owned by 2 products. Okay, each of the land lots here is owned by 1 product. And then it's located in a big alleyway in Saigon, quite close to the CBD, and with a view to the small parkland here. It's very, very rare in the context of the urban, of the dense urban city here. We have a small parkland here. Okay, very big advantage. The function of it needs to have a commercial space on the ground level, at least 8 rental apartments, and we need to have communal space as well as technical areas and a lift and circulation space as well. And other requirements, safety, security, privacy, and especially the owners may want to divide the building into 2 halves in the future. Because at the moment they want to join them together to become a big building, but in the future maybe they want to divide it into the equal parts, like the previous existing landlord here, because they may have different financial plan in the future. So that would be a very big challenge for us. And another regulation is that we need to have 5 meter setback from the side boundary and maximum 7 levels. Right, existing photos. Okay, from the main street here, that one is very famous street, the big street connecting the international airport to the Ho Chi Minh City CBD. So the site is just here, and you can see the building. You see the building in the future from the main street here. Okay, this is the existing building here. Okay, one landlocked, another landlocked here next to the other. And okay, and then because there is a parkland located in front of the buildings, in front of the site, so when you come up to the maybe 2nd or 3rd level, you can have the very good view to the canopies of the backland and the city downtown, the far away. And SWOT, strengths and opportunities here. Okay, we have some strengths here. It's very close, has a close distance from the main street. So the building would be visible from the main street. It's good for business, right? Because it rents apartments and commercial space. It needs to be visible from the main street. It has 8 meter wide walkway, so it has convenient ingress and exit. Rectangle shape combined size, so it has a tank to optimize floor plan dimension. And again, we have a beautiful parkland located from the site. So we may have a pleasant view to the landscape in the future if we build the right way. Weaknesses. The building may be divided into equal parts in the future. So we have a challenge in facade design and spatial layouts. How to be ready for that in the future? They are combined together now, but in the future they may be far apart. The construction of one hut is delayed for 6 months. Okay, you imagine that after 6 months of the first building we built, we have to build the second one. So it might affect the operations of the first building, and the construction takes longer time and higher cost as well. And it has 50 meter distance from the busy main street, so noise and dust from the main street might affect the interior space in the new building. So design directions, stacking, okay? Because the design brief asks for so many functions. Apartments, commercial space, communal space, technical areas. So we talked about the many functions and forms can be stacked together to create an extraordinary multi-level architecture. So that was the first direction, stacking. Diversity. Saigon is a city of multicultural, and many people from around the world come to visit and live and work in Saigon, as you may know. And then, so we want to transform the multicultural of Saigon, opportunity city, as well as the occupants' lifestyle from around the world into the design. Because the rental apartments is, they are for foreigners, for tourists, travelers, and even local people as well. So many people living, together. Therefore, from every part of the world can come to work, to live under one roof. So diversity was another direction. Connecting. Okay, we try to enhance the relationship between inside and outside, the architecture and the context, as well as the individuals and the community. Okay, the building needs to have a sense of community because many people living and working together in the building. So we want to create a connecting between individuals and community, as well as the architecture and the context outside. So we look for ideas. Alright, so on the left hand side you can see some beautiful photos of famous cities around the world, like Paris, Amsterdam. I'm not sure what it is. This one should be Times Square in New York, and that's one in Saigon. Alright, and on the right hand side you can see some beautiful image photos of the nature. Maybe the water, the earth here, the forest, the trees, stuff like that, very nice. And then the cities is a symbol of human creation. And the garden or the nature is, the garden is a smaller version of the nature. So we want to combine the city with garden to be as a consideration, as the interconnection between architecture and the nature. So we want to combine, on the left hand side, the photo on the left hand side with the photo on the right hand side, the city with the nature, the city with the gardens. Alright, and then we look for ideas, we do some sketches of the forms. Many sketches were produced. Okay, we have some ideas for proposals, and only most reliable ones were selected as an initial concept, which is this one. You can see that it has a sense of stacking, it has a sense of connecting, it has a sense of community here, the group of buildings, a group of apartments, a group of spaces stacking together here. And then we propose the design concept of city and gardens. You can see here is the floor plans. Okay, on the ground levels and the mezzanine levels, we have some kind of community area. That is the cafe and co-working space. And on the upper levels, we have 9 rental apartments. So, if we ask for just 8 rental apartments, we could produce, we could do 9 of them. Okay, on the top here, we have rooftop garden as a community space as well. And then, if you look at elevation, you see that different house, a group of stacking volumes, balconies stacking together, as it becomes a 7-level buildings here. Right, and we need some rendering images. We need to pay for that. We need to pay the salary for that. We don't have students to work for us, right? So it's quite expensive to hire people to work for us here. And then we have, some rendering images of the inside space, like the coffee shop. And communal space on the ground levels, and we have different apartments and landscaping area. Okay, and then we try to have the inspiration and concept of the cities, of the lifestyle of some notable cities around the world. We combine with natural elements in both direct and imaginative ways. That is final building here. You can see that a group of angle balcony blocks finished in different materials, express the individuality within a aggressive yet coherent view form. The building not only reflects the vibrancy and diversity of Saigon, but also engages to connect with the nature at the same time. because we want to put, we put all the balconies blocks here with all kind different plantings and landscape design. Okay, and we have the connection between that landscape, that interconnection space, the landscape space inside the building with the parkland in front of it. So we try to have the connection between inside and outside via the production of, the proposal of the balcony blocks here, the different blocks here. And then different blocks have different materials and rotating in different angle to embrace the individuality as well as the the diversity of the interior space as well as the lifestyle around the world combined with nature in different ways. Closer look at the facades. Yeah. Okay, this one is just behind the trees. We call it the Tokyo Home. Yeah, we have Tokyo Home here in Saigon, right in Saigon. This one we call this Parisian apartment. This one is the Earth Garden. This one is the water space. And the one here is Copenhagen Attic. This one is the New York Loft, and this one is the Forest Lodge. Okay, I run through to the interior space. Okay, on the ground at the mezzanine level is the working Saigon Cafe and co-working space where guests can relax, share the table, and meet each other, interact with the others. And then we have Tokyo Home here on the second level. Okay, it's a very peaceful space with design experience we learned from Japanese architecture. And the thing is that we have quite a lot of Japanese people to come here to visit and stay here, both in Airbnb and long-term rent here. Alright, and then we have the Parisian apartment. Okay, we try to reimagine the romance and elegance of classical Parisian architecture in a very modern way. That is the Copenhagen Attic, very Scandinavian style. That is the New York Loft over here. That is the double space. Actually, you have 3 levels here, 1, 2, and 3. We try to play with the configuration, with the heights, with the ceiling, and with the configuration, the layouts of the rooms. And then we use industrial materials. We recall the 1950s loft in New York. Okay, maybe familiar with Thailand, right? Okay. All right, and then we also have some apartments here which is very close to nature. The Earth Garden here. We use a very vernacular style of Vietnam and shows some local materials like the brick and ceramic and so on. That is the water space. Actually, it doesn't have any water inside, but the design of it, the dynamic of it, imaginative water body, and finished with transparent and translucent materials. The Forest Lodge looks like a wooden cabin in the forest, just right in the middle of the city. Okay, and then we have the Earth Garden, the Saigonese terrace here, located on the top floor, finished with traditional materials and has a Saigonese style terrace here. You can see here, with local herbs, vegetables, and very, very outdoor living, very Saigonese. So we have some kind of movie here. We need to have a look. That is a working Saigon Cafe, co-working on the ground and the mezzanine levels. Tokyo Home with a Japanese garden as well. Welcome to Paris. Copenhagen Attic. Alright, this is a very big one. This is a very special one. New York Loft. These Taiwanese terrace on the top of the building. You see that it is only half of the building, because as I mentioned before, the second half was delayed for 6 months. So we have 5 apartments here and we have another 4 apartments here later on. So that is a very quick movie, very short movie about how we do the project here, interior and architecture. Alright, and then at the moment we still have there, still have the Saigonese, the working Saigon cafe and co-working space. So next time we come to visit and I will walk you around. Okay. Alright, so that was the second case studies, city gardens. Case study 3, which is the last one. Okay, so I don't take much of your time anymore. So, alright, and next one is the big one. Okay, the big project. 7,500 square meter size, and it's not located in the center of the city. It's located on the outskirts of the city, and in a new urban development area. And the design will ask for at least 200 affordable apartments for local people, for the low and average income people who live and work in the local area here. And other functions like parking area, shops, communal space, landscape, children playgrounds, etc. Requirements, sustainable design, flexibility, and especially we need to have a solution for 20% cheaper than conventional construction. Very big challenge, very big challenge, because this is affordable housing. Alright, and then we have a regulation of maximum construction ratio 50% only, maximum height is 20 levels. That is the site. Okay, again, we did site analysis, investigation, checking photos, and do all the survey and stuff like that. Alright, and also the wind study, connectivity, views, landscape analysis, wind and solar access studies here, all the diagrams. Okay, at the beginning as the research, and then we do the SWOT. Okay, we have some strengths here. First of all, the site is a new urban development area, so it can enjoy the proximity to the amenities in the master plan. Because it's a new overall master plan, so we have school, we have supermarket and everything. So the site has 4 street frontage, so it has a convenient, effective ingress and exit as well. The parkland is located in front of the site, so the residents there can have a pleasant view and access to the public parkland. The southeast main orientation, so we may have the opportunity to engage with southeast and southwest wind. The weakness, the only weakness we have is 20% cheaper than conventional construction. So actually it's not weakness, it's a challenge. Okay, if we don't end up with a creative design solution, it would be a failure. The project would be a failure, a total failure, because it's not usable anymore. Okay, so we went through the design directions. Okay, we talked about modular prefabrication. Okay, because by using modular prefabrication, we can have the standardizing dimension and structure, providing producing off-site, reducing cost and time, and we have the hope to reduce the construction cost down to 20%. Flexibility and expandability. We try to enhance that kind of expandability and flexibility according to the future needs of the residents. Sustainable design, because this is a requirement and it is one of our direction for many projects as well. We want to save energy using local materials, applying passive design strategies. We try to optimize microclimates. And last one is question one, financial modeling. Okay, because we architect, designer, contractor, but we hire financiers to come up to establish a team, financial modeling, to control and to estimate and control the project finance during all phases, from pre-construction to design to construction and post-construction as well, to make sure that it is affordable. Okay, from 4 directions: modular replication, flexibility, expandability, sustainable design, and financial modeling. We looked for ideas. Okay, we did a lot of physical studies, models. Okay, we start from very it's a cube, a small cube of 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters to make different configuration. We call it just one module, one unit, and we try different options to how to to put all of them together on the site. Okay, we test that and then we try to produce the most promising one to select it as a concept. Okay, and the concept we call it the next modular housing. That is the final study model before we develop it into the final concept. Okay, the next modular housing is based on the modular fabrication, spatial flexibility, and sustainability in order to create a truly affordable and sustainable homes for low and average income in the local area. Alright, so this is the conceptual diagram. Okay, this is an empty land, 7,500 square meter empty land filled with white bush. And then, okay, we just propose a very big building here, okay, to achieve the 25,000 square meter NFA as the requirement. But then it's too big, it was too big, so we divide it into different 2 towers. And then because it's 2 towers is too too conventional, so we try to make it different as well. So one tower building and another one L-shaped building, the low rise. And then after that we vary the height to open the views and to cut the wings as well on the diagram. And then finally we put some landscaping on the balconies as well as the rooftop of the 2 buildings here. And this has become the final buildings, final proposal here. And then from the 7,500 square meter green land, we replace that with 10,000 square meter of green area. From the ground level up to different levels here and to the rooftop. And then we achieve 25,000 square meter of net floor area. Alright, we start from last model, the core construction unit, 3.6 by 3.6 by 3 meter. And all models here can be manufactured in factories and transported into the site and assembled in the fast, timely and efficient construction methods. That is a core structural model. And then this is the diagram showing the configuration and then the location of different apartments, and different types for different kind of families, inside the building, inside the 2 buildings in the whole project here. This one is the typical floor plan, is level 3 and level 9. We're showing that 225. Remember the project we just asked for 200, but we achieved 225 interlocking apartments in different 16 types, different size, by multiplying and configuring the basic models in order to adapt to the different family size and lifestyle. So the very important elements here is that each apartment could be technically expanded, renovated, or replaced accordingly to the needs and the change of the families over time. Of course, with approval from the local authority and the community as well. So you see that there is some hole here, some empty space here for people to build it up or renovate or expand their apartments in the future. Alright, we apply many sustainable design strategies into the design of the building, like natural ventilation, like water saving, like sunshade device, footpath, and all the landscaping as well. So we try to put sustainability as a main factor, the main directions of the project. Right, some sketches showing the semi-public space and public space of the building. Okay, the design concept is strongly adapted to the local culture in Vietnam, in combination with sustainable traditional materials and creating various public and semi-public space in different levels, different locations. That is rendering image showing the overall building. Okay, instead of designing a conventional building, we try for creating a group of flexible, adaptive and sustainable shelters for the local people and the families. But I views, the next modular housing tends to be a humble architecture that could break, grow and tell an open end story of life. So, thank you. That's my presentation. Thank you very much for your
接下来是来宾 Q&A 问答，我们掌声欢迎黄立军老师来为我们主持。
Thanks, Mr. Yang for the wonderful stage.
It's really an inspirational speech. And do you have any feedback or question to ask? You need to grab this opportunity. Otherwise, Mr. Cao will be back to Vietnam tomorrow.
next year.
Yeah, probably next year. So is there any question you would like to ask from our student? Is there? Yes, please.
All right. This side again.
I would like to ask, what challenge do designers face when finding inspiration and development concepts?
Okay, can you speak again?
Yeah.
What challenge do designers face when finding inspiration and developing concepts?
The challenges you are facing while designing your concept, after I understand.
Okay, so the thing is that different projects are different. Okay, and then the biggest problem, the biggest challenge that we do when we do the design concept is we don't have the process. Okay, as I mentioned before, many young architects, designers, and students, they don't have the process, they don't have the method to do the right one, the sustainable method to do concept design. So that's why they lost the way, they lose their way in order to get into the concept before getting into the concept. So the challenge, the biggest challenge is that we don't know how to do it. We don't know the way to do it. So that's why we established that process here. Remember 6 steps: research, right? And next, SWOT, okay, and direction, ideas, and concept. Sorry, 5 steps. All right, it's 5 steps. Okay, and it took us about 10 years in order to establish that concept, that process. Okay, and we don't do it. We didn't do it at university. We didn't do it at the lab or the research center. We did it by practice. Keep practicing. During the years, from project to project, and then we established our experimental concept design methodology with 5 steps and 4 properties. 4 properties were okay, simplicity, creativity, problem solving, alright, thoroughness, and what is the first one? Remember the first one, the first properties of a concept?
Research.
Discussion?
Can you go back to the very first slides? Okay.
The 6 steps.
You start again.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, so maybe the 7 or maybe the 10. Yeah, alright. Creativity. Alright. So it needs to be new. It needs to be unique. You need to be creative.
Just like our department.
Yeah, so that's why we have creative design here. Alright. very interesting here because we learn. Okay, as an architect, we need architectural degree, and we know about graphic design. We know about interior design, industrial design. But creative design is very special concept here. Okay, I have a conversation with Dr. Pang, and then he explained to me that
integrated design.
Yeah. So creativity can apply to different professions. But in terms of architectural, interior, industrial design, that one is the most important properties of every design concept. Okay, it needs to be creative, it needs to be problem solving, it needs to be very simple, it needs to be truthfulness. Okay? Okay, maybe you, other office, other companies can have different, concepts or different opinions about that. But to us or to me, so the design concept needs to have that, 4 properties here. Yeah. Right. So come back to your question. The biggest challenge is, have no clue, have no direction. How to do that? How to get into the concept? How to transform the imagination or inspiration into the actual concept that works? So we need to have the process, the solution for that. We need to have a process that workable and reliable. So it helps you to transform your ideas into concept. So is it okay for you? All right.
I have a question. In your third case study, you mentioned about reduce 20% of the cost, and you need to build an affordable apartment for many people, for workers, for example. Is this the order from a government project or a private project?
Actually, this is a PPP project. Okay, the land is all actually by the government, and they ask for the private developer to invest into that project. So we work with both the government and the private developer as well. It's a very interesting project. We just finished the concept design, and we hope that we can run through the design development and construction documentation.
So nobody moved in yet?
No. You want to buy something?
I believe that the foreigners cannot buy any.
No, some people they buy a lot, but the thing is they buy in an established area. Like in Ho Chi Minh City, they have some project that can sell to the foreigners.
I see.
Taiwanese, a lot of Taiwanese.
Really?
Yeah. You heard about Fu Min area?
I heard that they married with a second wife.
All right. You don't need to. Right? Okay. So that's very interesting one. And the thing is that we have the direction and the requirement to reduce the cost of the construction. Not overall project, not only the construction cost to 20%. So that's why we have to have the financial modeling. We have a financial team to come up with us, to work with us, to make sure that it works. Otherwise it would be a failure. It's not successful anymore.
Okay. My second question is, since it's an affordable project for the workers, for the middle class people, and do you expect that after finishing the project and people move in, do you expect the price will raise up in the future?
The thing is that they have because that's a government, that's a PPP project. So the thing is that they have the restriction. They need to restrict that kind of
So people have to stay there for at least 10 years. For 10 years.
10 years. Yeah.
I see. That's a good solution, I suppose.
I know what you mean. Because a lot of projects encourage affordable housing, but the thing is that after that they just sell it out to the investor, to the second investor.
Yeah. It happens very often everywhere, even in Taiwan as well.
Ah, really?
Yeah. Is there any questions? Yeah.
Thank you.
Many people will living in the places in the future.
Yeah.
How do you think about the people who communicate each other in this also design work, also how you can, as to say, improve their communication, many people. It's like a one town, right? Like my community is just 400 people, but more people living in this.
Yeah.
How you are going to communicate each other with people?
Okay, so normally they need to establish the management board with the representatives of the families there to build up a management board, and then they normally need to open up all the meetings and and guidelines and everything, and house rules and everything and events as well for the community to interact with each other. Our design also encourage interaction between people in there. If you look at the semi-public space and public space in different levels, it encourages many people to come from their apartments down to the ground levels on the parkland in the middle to interact, to communicate with the other, and they have some community events there as well. But the thing is that we architects and designers, we make the building ready for that. All right, we cannot do the events because I am not you because you can do the events, you do the things like that. But we have the concept, we did the design, we build it up, and then it needs to be ready for all kind of community interaction activities there. So you see that a semi-public space there, and even from the balconies, they can have the conversation to each other because it open, and then on the rooftop, if you look at the building, it's set up, and then this rooftop is open for everywhere there, for everyone inside the building, so they can freely get into the rooftop and enjoy the views of the paintings and the birds and things like that, and then they can have the interaction with the others.
So it's my question that in Japan it's already individual, its apartment is already individual gathering, but now in the background they're developing very fast, and also designers thinking the communication is important in this individual, let's say. This I want to make sure that.
Okay, when you look at the case study 2, the city gardens, there is the communal space there as well on the rooftop, and then and the cafe and co-working space there, where people just only sit down. They have 20% discount. Okay, from my understanding that they have 20 to 30% discount. So it encourages more, the more to get into that space to meet each other, and sometimes they have rest, they have staff coming as well. So that's a kind of interactive space, community space, communal space as well. But it makes money as well. I heard about the cafe shop, in the Yunlin University.
Yeah, very expensive.
But it was very expensive. No discount for students, but we don't do that here. In the city gardens, actually we did a property management as well. For the city gardens buildings, we are managing that. So the cafe is our partner. So we have 20% discount from them.
Also the case is also the small land statue in this community. Do you think about the building and the community too?
Yeah.
You kind of statue.
You see the mini building, the last block house, it's very tiny space. But the thing is that if you walk around the corner, you see that the entrance is not on the main facade, it's on the side facade. So people walking around and then have interaction with others. That's the strategy that designer can do.
Yeah, that's the communication. Okay, thank you very much. Last but not least, I thank you so much for your intriguing speech, and also I think it's inspirational for all the students in Yunlin, especially in our creative design department. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. She said